Welcome to the Salt Circle Podcast. My name is Hank. With me from Beyond Death is Ben.
Ho ho ho, it works on so many levels. What's up?
So we're talking magic?
Yeah. As I was saying, one of my coworkers, another teacher, is Russian native from St. Petersburg, has zero discernible accent. I thought she was from Wisconsin. Like, she has a perfect Midwestern accent. And the only thing that gave her away was I said the word adult, and she was like, "It's adult, not adult." I'm like, "Oh shit, are you not a native speaker?" And it turned out she wasn't. Apparently, she watched just a shitload of cartoons, American cartoons, when she was little. So like, that's how it happened. We were talking probably last week, I guess, and she said thermos. And just flashbacks, alarm bells. I'm like, whoa. That's fine. That's okay. You shouldn't deny who you are, but I don't think you can say that in Canada. It'll tear you to shreds.
Fuck.
Yeah. She said, like, the Russian, the direct Russian translation for that, though, is it's like thermo flask or something. So you still get that satisfying O sound that your heart just wants you to say. Yeah.
That your heart just wants to say.
Thankfully, when it comes to Theros, there's an O. Yep. Actually, now I'm going to start calling it Theros.
Theros?
Roll into the local game store. Hey guys, you got a Theros draft going? Oh, what?
I'm sure that would go well. But yeah, we're talking about the magic, and there's a new set, Theros Beyond Death, and I went to a Magicfest and played a bunch of it.
Yeah,
I played a bunch of sealed.
Did you do any? I mean, were you, after you played sealed and stuff, were you like down on the floor in the thick of it, like Wall Street style, trying to trade for things?
No, I bought some singles, but that's about it. I was gonna do some and play some more other stuff, but I played so much sealed, I was burnt out by Magic.
Oh yeah, that makes sense.
And there was also just like, this happened last year too at this event, at this particular one, and I forgot it happened. Is it got too full and they just shut down all side events unless you were like paid for the special Fnatic packages.
Oh yeah.
So
it's kind of
like,
gross.
My strategy of like, oh, I'll play something as I feel like it, like just that wasn't gonna work for the last day anyway. So. Like, the things I really wanted to do were schedule events anyway, but everything just took so much longer than I wanted it to in my head.
Yeah. How, I ask this more out of morbid curiosity. How was the odor? And how was the ass crack situation?
It was very high ceilings, so...
Nice. Good ventilation. It's important.
Yeah. It was getting a little... On the GP day, I was getting a little hot, but I was also a little overdressed.
Yeah, sure.
But I definitely had a game where I was just playing like dog shit because I was too hot.
Sure. Yeah.
I was just like losing
That'd be rough.
I made misplays. I just want to go home.
Yep.
Immediately.
Like
attack into a death touch creature, scoop, drop, go home, go to bed.
Hell yeah,
Don't
dude.
come back tomorrow.
That's the real combo.
I didn't quite do that, but I was not that far off. That was what I wanted to do at that moment.
The times I've gone to pre-release, that's the perfect end game combo. Fuck up, scoop, drop, bed. It's the order. I ask. I'm always curious, and I don't think anybody has actually done hard numbers on it, and I certainly don't think I think even I certainly don't think there's hard numbers, and I don't think there's even like anecdotal data on like since memes started blowing up about how bad Magic players smell, and then the dude like the Captain Butt Crack guy. I've always wondered, like, after that happened, did it have any effect? Did some people maybe become a little more self-aware? I feel like no, but I'm curious. Yeah, no, the times I've gone, it hasn't been bad.
Yeah, it was fun. It was a room full of a lot of dudes.
Yep. Yep.
It was at least a giant room with high ceilings.
Mm-hmm.
It's like a big convention floor, so so it goes.
I spent a lot of the one Magic tournament I went to in Minneapolis. I played, and I didn't play. I did like side events because I wasn't in the tournament.
Mm-hmm.
But it's still that burnout. I feel you. Instead of going home though, because I paid for like the hotel room and everything, obviously, I just hung out by the brat stand for like way too long.
Yeah. The food situation is pay too much for food.
Oh hell yeah!
Because there's kind of you had to walk pretty far to go get food elsewhere. Though I did walk elsewhere and get food at the end of my second day, and I was delighted.
Hell
and
yeah!
then in my arrogance, I walked back to the convention store to like maybe I could get one side event in, and I got there like right as they had cut the line off. I'm like, well, whatever.
Yeah,
I'm fine with that.
Um.
But so part of the reason my days were so stressful was because I played in a PTQ Pro Tour qualifier on Friday, and then the big Grand Prix the next day on Saturday. And they were both sealed events.
Yeah.
With the Theros Beyond Death, and I played in the PTQ because if you got 5 wins in the PTQ, you got 2 buys for the Grand Prix, which that seemed like a cool, and like also doing a PTQ, that's fun. So the PTQ actually went really well. Like I did lose one round, but I made it through to the last round, and then my last opponent, I already had the buys, so we just split. He just gave me the win, and then I got the buys, and we split the tickets. So that was nice. But it's fucking, like, the cut to top 8 in an event that big is fucking brutal. Like, my record is 5-1, and I'm like top 40, not even close to top 8.
That's pretty
wild.
That's pretty ridiculous.
Yeah. But like I had enough prize tickets at the end of the weekend where I got like, and I cashed them into packs of Modern Horizons, so I walked away with like 15 packs of Modern Horizons.
Nice. Any particular reason you went with that set?
Because that has cards that I'd want.
Sure. Okay. I didn't know if it was like a value proposition thing, or I figured kind of not, but
like really the best way you get bang for your buck with those prize tickets would be buying packs of like regular standard sets, because it just, for whatever reason, the conversion rate's better. Mm-hmm. Or like if you're getting a box, basically you get a bonus. Whereas with Modern Horizons, like buying a box was literally just added up with buying individual booster packs of.
Oh, that doesn't surprise me at all.
Yeah, because I mean that's a premium. That's a more expensive. Those booster packs are more expensive. It's also because I've wanted packs of that, but I've never been able to convince myself it's worth buying them because they're so expensive.
Yeah, they're still like what are they 10 a pack? $10?
No, it's like you can get like 3 packs for like $20, I think.
Okay, I mean that's still pretty beefy.
Yeah. They're like twice as much as a normal pack. It's a lot. And it's like all the value is in a few cards.
Yeah,
Like most
yeah.
rares and that's are worth way less than a pack.
Yeah, no, that checks out.
I got some of the cards I got were actual cards I already had too, which was a little annoying. Like I got a second Force of Vigor and I got a second Ayula's Awakening or whatever, the card where you get to discard cards to create bears.
Yeah, yeah.
Lands. I got another one of those. But I did get an Ayula art card, so that's like just makes me happy. It's not a thing I would buy. It's not
Yeah.
worth anything. I think the best value card I got was Prismatic Vista, the land, the like
The
good
fetch
basic fetch land.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, pay 1 life, get any basic.
Mm-hmm.
So that'll just be a commander staple for me in any multicolor deck
Hell yeah, dude.
forever now. That was cool. I got some snow-covered lands, which I just like wanted to have some more snow-covered lands. Those
Yeah.
are just good to have around. That's like really where the value of the set is of like the packs. There's like every pack has a
Snow-covered land.
snow-covered land in it, so it's
Yeah.
like a little bit of a boost, a little bit of guaranteed value. Like it's not a lot, but it's something.
Mm-hmm.
The funny thing was like also playing in those tournaments, like having pro players around,
Yeah.
like directly behind me, almost directly behind me, like one seat over was like Reed Duke was opening his sealed pat pool.
Yeah,
in the
man.
PTQ. And then in the Grand Prix, right next to me across the table, the first round I played because of after the 2 buys, Luis Salvato was playing. He was the player of the year last year.
Yeah. We
So that was fun.
we were right across from I can't think of his fucking name. I just remember his initials. It's like BDD. Brian or Brian.
Burn.
Yeah, or BBD or
Dog.
whatever, yeah.
Yeah.
It was cool. We were hanging around looking at playmats, and Brian Kibler rolled up and bought a playmat of himself in a tuxedo, like laying on a like that was cool.
Fuck.
Just comes up, he's like,
pretty
nice. Just buys it.
Yeah. That's pretty good. That's so neat. The other thing is just like my sealed pool for the PTQ was just way better than my sealed pool for the Grand Prix.
Oh yeah,
Like
as
I didn't
as it goes.
like my pool for the Grand Prix. I went 0-3 with it, honestly. Like playing that, I just didn't have a good time with the Grand Prix. Just, the 2 buys didn't really get me anywhere else.
Mm-hmm.
But so it goes. What the 2 buys did get me though was time beforehand to play a round of Commander
Yeah, bud.
where I won with bears. And it was a glorious bear win where I just cast bears and attacked people and nobody had shit to deal with me.
That's so good.
They just couldn't stop it. Just like all 3 of them. Like it might as well have been arch enemy and I just fucking walked all over them with bears. And it was even better because they milled away my Triumph of the Hordes. So I didn't get like a Triumph of the Hordes win. I still just attacked straight up.
Yeah,
with
just
bears.
so many fucking bears. That's really good, dude.
Yeah. It was really good. And I was like, well, I had board wipes, I just didn't draw them.
Mm-hmm.
Perfect. I got to beat a Corvald player, beat a Micaeus player, and an Una player.
Okay.
And the Una player was definitely like the least experienced. Like he accidentally like shuffled his hand into his library at the beginning, and we just had to let him
Do it up.
get on with it.
Yeah.
It's like, don't do that again.
Yeah, I mean, shit
Yeah.
happens.
Yep. but the Micaeus player, he was like played a Soul Ring turn 2. He had a Skull Clamp and a Bitter Blossom. He was drawing a ton of cards, but he
Yeah.
never got to put it together into anything. So he got for getting all that good stuff, he got killed first. And I killed him with commander damage. Like,
Nice.
just a Eula attacking him over and over. And then the Corvold player ended up being the one who was at the end. And he got a Mayhem Devil at one point.
Okay.
Started like actually doing some stuff. He got his Corvold in play. So I just had to make my Eula bigger than Corvold and fight it.
Hell yeah.
I wasn't all bears. I did play a Nissa who shakes the world, so I did have some elemental lands.
I'm so fucking You couldn't just go all the way. You couldn't just be a pure bear. Let me guess, you had Aether Reservoir in there and gave the bears flying too.
I mean, I do have a Chroma's Memorial in that deck,
Ooh.
but I don't have Aether Reservoir in that deck. Look, man, I have a lot of artifacts in that.
But
deck.
that's your
one of my
shtick.
because yeah. I mean, Nissa's in there because I put all like every kind of mana doubler. Because I want to be able, if I get Phyrexian Processor where I'm creating giant bears, I want to create as many bears as possible. That's like
Sure.
the idea. The deck I might be able to rework it now though. Now that Ayula exists, now that like the bears I play are actually like worth playing, instead of like the old way the deck worked, where it was like the bears are all worthless, but you just gotta have them.
Yeah. Fuck yeah, bud.
But they are just like 2/2s that don't really do anything.
The best kind of tribal.
Now you gotta go for like more obscure tribal.
I mean,
Play that Minotaur card.
I joked about it. Yeah, the Minotaur tribal. I joked about it on Twitter, but honestly, like women yelling at me tribal. Maybe it happens.
Women yelling at me. Yeah. I don't know. I would love to build my Men Without Shirts deck in real life.
I mean,
But
do it.
It's a little too expensive.
Really? Where's the beef coming from?
It's just a lot of cards I don't have.
Gotcha.
Like it just even if the cards are just a couple bucks, like it adds up over a 100 card commander deck.
Yeah, that happens. Art deck checking in.
Like that's one of the reasons I built. My other deck I have is that Joyra Artifact Storm deck, is because that deck was not very. That deck was like the cheapest one of all the decks I've designed to build too, and in addition to just being extremely powerful.
Yeah.
Like turns out, like there are a couple cards I could put in there to make it a little better that I didn't because they're too expensive. Like Thought Vessel, the 2-mana rock that makes it so you have no hand size limit. It's surprisingly expensive. Like that just needs a reprint.
Makes sense.
And then there's like I would like to put Cloud Key in that deck, but it's a little too expensive.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I could see that.
But you know.
I
don't know. I just like that deck. It's also like some of the cards that I had to buy are cards I just wanted to own, so that also happens. The other cool thing of doing those events was the promos I got for participating.
Oh,
Got
yeah.
Full art Path to Exile.
Nice.
Like
Right.
No text. Path to Exile. It's like a pile of swords. It's really fucking dope looking. And then the other one I got is I got a foil Cryptic Command, which is also a card I didn't have.
Nice.
So that was cool.
Right. This is the I looked up the art. It's the second best Path to Exile promo.
Mm-hmm.
That Gwei one
Because
too
it's
good.
not the Rebecca Gwei one. Yeah.
Yeah.
But the Cryptic Command one is
Honestly,
the art that's on the sleeves that are in Arena now.
Okay. Honestly, you know what? This Path to Exile is really fucking good. It might.
Yeah, it is.
It might actually be better. I found a high res version.
Yeah,
It's really nice. That color is
and
so
the no
good.
text part is really
The no
good.
text part is really fucking good. Yeah, I think it steps over the Gwei one. I'll backtrack. I'll admit it.
It's really good. I was pleased when I saw it because I hadn't actually looked at, like, I hadn't put that thought in my head of what that card was actually going to look like when I got it. But like, Path to Exile was a card I didn't have also. So that was
Really?
nice.
Okay.
So it's like weirdly expensive, and it's just like one of those cards that's in the gap in cards I have.
Sure.
Even though it was like an uncommon at the time. Whereas I have lots of Source of Plowshares, but that's partly because they've been reprinting that. Like, that card used to be expensive, and then they reprinted into the ground, which was nice, but also annoying. That it's,
Yeah.
partially they did that because then they had a different card that filled the same role and was played more because it was in Modern. God. So it goes.
So I haven't. I mean, as you know, I haven't been playing too much Magic lately, all things considered. Do they have the Theros lands in Arena yet? Like obtainable versions?
I don't think they're in yet.
I know the art is there. Like, people found them.
Yeah,
they exist.
They're in the game. You can see it. I don't think you can get them yet.
Okay. I mean, that's what's gonna bring me back.
Yeah. Also, so I have a bunch of those lands now. Not like a ton, but like I have a handful. I don't think I have any swamps. I think I didn't get a swamp though.
You didn't get a Theros swamp?
Yeah.
You didn't. Did you get them in foil?
Maybe did. No. Or did I get? I got one. I think I got one in foil.
Okay.
Maybe. I don't even remember anymore. Maybe not. I don't remember what I got. I don't remember. What cards do I have in my life? Honestly, the cool version of a card I got was the fucking, I posted in the Discord the like alternate art version of the Green God.
Yeah.
Which is the constellation version.
Mm-hmm.
The Nylea Keen-Eyed. That was cool. But the card that like defined my whole weekend was that fucking Pegasus, the Archon Pegasus tribal thing. Archon of Sun's Grace.
Pegasus Tribal. It's back, baby.
Like I had it in my PTQ deck, and I played like half my opponents had it, and my opponents, like, I talked to my opponents and they had played against it. Like the guy
like everybody was just rolling it.
Yeah.
Fuck
Yeah.
yeah.
Like the guy I split the ticks with at the end. He had it in his deck, and his only loss had come to it.
Oh my god. That's real good. Just fuck it.
And then I lost to it also on the next day. That card was just friggin' everywhere, and it's so friggin' powerful and limited.
Yeah.
Like, it's just hard to answer. Like, for one, it's like a creature that's 3/4 and flying and not an enchantment. It's just like really hard to deal with.
Mm-hmm.
You need very specific removal.
See,
and sometimes you don't always get that.
That was my beef with with Theros though. That's like my main thing. I as I'd said before the set came out, I suspected that Bestow was either not going to show up or it was going to be like reserved for a mythic rare or some shit like that. Which, yeah, obviously there's no Bestow in the set, which makes sense. Because people are stupid, I guess. I was coming into Magic for like the first time at that point, and I somehow didn't have an issue with, yeah, it's either you bestow it or you don't. And if it comes back, it doesn't, you don't get to choose. Like, pretty simple, I think, but whatever, fine. Not all of us are IQ 300 players
It's like
like
how
myself.
it's easier to learn a new language when you're a baby.
I guess, yeah. Because at that point, people were just like, yeah, it's like an aura, but it's not. I'm like, yeah, sure. Sounds good.
Yeah, I don't know. It's not. It's like word salad on the card. It just
I guess,
like, takes
yeah.
way too much space on the card. Is
Yeah.
my bigger issue with it. But
Also, I'm a little
it
salty
has
that they
weird
printed a
interactions.
bestow commander. And then, like, it doesn't show up at all. Like, that was where they were getting their outlet, I suppose.
yeah, yeah, because like they're way more willing to do a keyword on one card.
Yeah,
They don't want to do that in standard sets.
My bigger thing, as I've talked about a little bit, was the constellation nonsense. I was looking forward to like stuff for my Bant enchantments deck, and I think there's still some stuff to throw in, but basically all of the constellation cards are like, well, I'm not an enchantment, so do you want to run a non-enchantment, or it's just
Oh, you mean because they put the synergy cards as not being enchantments themselves?
Yeah,
so
yeah.
that they're synergy.
yeah. And I guess I don't know what the way I understand that it was really good. Like having having the enchantment creature and constellation and it counts for itself and whatever. I suppose they shot themselves in the foot a little. It's like with bestow. Same thing. Do you just retcon the entire mechanic? What about constellation creatures? Could we just say that constellation now is only other creatures and not the creature it's on? I think that would be suitable, but I don't want a bunch of filthy humans in my enchantment deck. Enchantments only. And enchantresses.
I mean, you could count them as enchantresses. Like honestly, the best one is the one that is basically an enchantress.
Yeah. There's still like, again, there's the chunk worth putting in.
The set is in champion is like the one, because that's
Yeah.
the one where you get a 1/1 counter and you draw a card.
Yeah, but you know, I was looking for what the hell is the one where everybody discards a card? Like I was looking forward to more like that.
Nah, nope,
Come
none of
on,
that.
so good though.
It is.
But it's black actually, so it doesn't even make it into my deck anymore. I forget their name. I need to look more in depth at it. There were some artists that came up that I'm hoping to see more stuff from. But I can't think of their names right now or even the cards necessarily. But I just remember taking my usual stock of the art scene. I think they've
Yeah, man.
I mean, as long as Seb McKinnon keeps kicking a few in every set. He's like a
He's so fucking good.
evil Rebecca Guay. Just super distinct style. Except the man is clearly tormented.
Yeah, that was like the best thing about Throne of Eldraine was that like he was directing
Yeah.
the whole style of the set basically.
The art in that set is so good. And just the theme, the
Yeah.
food theme really like baked into a pie is 10 out of 10 on every level.
Other than that, it like literally broke every format. Fucking
Yeah,
Oko.
yeah. That's I mean
I
that's
guess
why
it didn't really break vintage. War of the Spark is really the one that broke vintage.
what from War of the Spark
Or
did it
M20 even. Like Nissa was, and that Karn from that set.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
But also Mystic Sanctuary from M20, like following it right up, was also fucking terrible.
Which
for
one
the
is that?
vintage. That's the one that where you can just play artifacts off the top and colorless cards off the top of your library.
Oh, right. Yeah. Yeah, that'd do it.
Yeah, that one's real good in vintage. That had to get restricted.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I did if you recall I bought the no, I missed the pre-order. I didn't get the pre-order. Unfortunately, it was like a situation where like, well, I won't have I'm not comfortable spending this money today, but I will be in like 3 days. So I just bought like the 45 packs or whatever, but it's fine. I got enough wild cards and enough shit to assemble White Weenie in some form, and I'll tinker with it at some point. But I might also try like a green or Selesnya thing, because I'm like the opposite of Zeiss.
Yeah.
I gotta have my green, man.
I mean, the ramp deck is still very good.
Oh, you mean the one that I designed? The one that was clearly stolen from me?
Although you don't really play mass manipulation anymore.
Well,
It's because it's all
They
about looping Agent of Treacheries
yeah.
with the new Thassa.
Um,
Like, that is just fucking gross. Where you're just like, yeah, I'll just steal 2 of your lands every turn.
yeah. I will say, just as a warning, maybe, so everyone, yourself included, can prepare if you haven't already. I'm gonna be like a very small, not seriously, but still sort of amount of salty about ditching that deck just forever. So, you know, played like 25 matches with it. I'm like, yeah, it seems pretty decent, but I don't know, it's probably not. So, just for like the
You gotta
next,
have the courage of your convictions, man.
I guess. But now I do, except they're all hot garbage. No, this deck is gonna work. Like green red ramp. It's just not there. Something. That would be the thing though, right? Like, man, I designed this ramp deck all by myself and it was so good. What if I just did ramp in a different color?
Yeah. The problem with every other ramp deck is you don't have Agent of Treachery. Like, that card is just the best thing you can do with those decks right now.
Yeah. Honestly,
like
I am a
looping
little sick of Simic. I'm not sick of green. I'm sick of Simic in
Yeah.
particular.
It's just been good every format. Partially because
Well,
that was just, like, they banned all those green cards, and it's just like, yeah, they still have Nissa, they still have Hydroid Crisis.
Yeah.
They're still gonna be the best colors.
Yeah. Well, what's the there's like the new Simic boy as well. I think he's a 3-drop.
I call him Uwu.
Oh, right.
He's Uro.
Ooh.
Honestly, I think the best version of that Civic deck doesn't even play him.
I mean, that makes sense, but he's like still good though, right? If I recall. Like, he's still solid.
Yeah, he's like a slightly worth growth spiral that has more potential in the late game.
Sure.
Like, honestly. It's totally fine, and it gives you like a good, like, oh, I'm gonna have stuff to do in the late game, but you kinda, when you have Hydroid Crisis, you kinda already always have stuff to do. So, I don't know. I was playing it with him. Like, I spent all those mythic wild cards on 4 of them to build that deck, and then I've rebuilt it and just taken him out.
Yeah.
Because the big thing is, if you're playing him, you kind of have to play the Elemental Knight, the like 5-drop.
Sure. Yeah.
That mills you and puts a land into play.
Mm-hmm.
And then when it dies, you can exile it to get a card back. Cavalier of Thorns, that's what it's called.
Right.
Because Simic really is really bad at getting into graveyard full without that card.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's Uro. Without that card, Uro really is just a worse growth spiral. And there's no like burn deck that makes the life gain that important.
Yeah. I finally opened up like the just on Scryfall so I could like see all the cards.
Yeah.
It's so disappointing looking at all the constellation things. There's so many. None of them are enchantment creatures.
Nope. I mean, you could play Hero of the Nyxborn.
I don't know what that is, but heroic, based on your tone, like probably not.
Heroic card. It's an
enchantment. Oh, yeah.
It's like whenever you target it with something, creatures you control get +1 attack.
Citizen Champion is really fucking good, though.
Citizen Champion's fucking great. I also went up against that one in the Sealed and was very unhappy every time I saw it cast.
But Nyx Bloom Ancient, crazy. Dude. The EDH subreddit was hilarious for like a week after that card got spoiled. Nyx Bloom Ancient.
What? Oh.
Because
why?
Because if you tap a permanent for mana, you get 3 times as much mana.
Yeah, but it costs so much.
Any permanent. You could tap something for... One Gaia's Cradle could tap for like 600 mana. Because it can't already do that at some points. People just...
That's because that was like the Command Zones.
Yeah.
Spoiler card, so I just feel like that overhyped because more people are gonna see that than other stuff.
I mean,
honestly, the card that is fucking wild to me is fucking Underworld Breach. Though I don't think it's great in Standard, but for older formats, that card is crazy. That is like
what color is it? Is that black?
Red.
Red card. Underworld
But
Breach.
It's like it's basically Yawgmoth's Will.
Yeah. Underworld Breach is
it's an
saucy.
Enchantment. And it doesn't like exile every card you play. Like the cards that you play with it don't get exiled. You could just keep doing it as long as you have like the extra food in exiled cards.
Mm-hmm.
Which is a cost. Like that does add up when you're like literally trying to loop this over and over again.
Yeah.
But that card is pretty nuts. And there's like you play that with Sun Titan.
Yeah.
Where you can just like get your Sun Titan and then get it back. It's like the potential there is pretty nuts. And I know it's seeing at least some play in Vintage.
Mm.
And I think it's like big in Pioneer actually. I think it might break Pioneer.
I wonder. I'm looking at it now. Would there... I mean, okay. It's jank, clearly. But, hear me out. Red-blue self-mill.
I mean, that'd be basically a Phoenix deck. Probably, is what you'd want to build.
Maybe. I'm thinking about, because I've tried playing mono blue self mill, right? It's probably one of my favorite styles of like mill. Any sort of mill is still like one of my favorite styles of deck that just never fucking works almost ever.
Well, so if you want to self mill, I was doing it.
Yeah.
because I've gotten a bunch of Thassa's Oracle wins, which is like the new weird version of Lab Maniac that it only works off a trigger, but also it can just get you some value because it just
Yeah.
like you just look at the top X of your cards in your library, where X is your devotion to blue, and it's a blue boost. So it's at least 2 cards, and then you get to keep one.
Yeah.
But if you're looking at all as many cards you have in your library or more cards than you have in your library, you just win, which is hilarious. So when I had Uro in my Simic deck, the games would just go long enough that I was decking myself. So I just put a Thassa's Oracle in there, and then that became my plan to win a lot of the time.
Hell yeah.
Because I just didn't have a better... like, the games would just go for so long because I was gaining so much life off Uros.
I mean, I think Thassa's Oracle would definitely be probably a necessity. My thinking is that, I mean, it's the risk you take running self-mill is, yeah, I'm self-milling and I'm watching all of my cards just that I need fall into the graveyard.
Yeah.
I did, I think eventually I'd put, Fae of Wishes, that's the thing, right? Yeah. I'd put that in, and then I'd just put, like, oh, I need Jace to win. Like, that's kind of what I want to do here. So I put a copy or 2 of him in the sideboard instead. And then...
I've done that, but that's so mana intensive. It's really hard to pull off.
Yes.
You have to do it in one turn. You have to be up to 8 mana.
Yeah, and I think Underworld Breach is the better solution, right?
Yeah. So in that Simic deck, Cavalier of Thorns, when it dies, you get to bring a card back. So if your Thassa's Oracle gets milled, you can pull it back to your hand too.
Yeah. Underworld, I mean, okay. I'm like looking at this now. I want to do it. Would it be better to try to hang on, I got this. Is it Temur? Red, green, blue?
Temur.
You're shitting me. It's not Temur. There's no way it's Temur. Who said it? What's your source?
People on the internet.
It can't possibly be
Magic
Temur.
players.
People were giving me shit for Thermos, and it's Temur? That's terrible. Well, either of my versions.
To be fair, people like the approved like Magic community way of pronouncing certain words has been wrong before, like Orzhov. The like community way to pronounce that is Orzhov, but it's supposed to be Orzhov, but nobody says it that way.
Oh yeah, no, that one's Orzhov. I think what's throwing me off with Temur, aside from the fact that it just sounds like the word team with on the end,
it's like Teemo from League of Legends.
Teemo Supremo. It just feels like I don't know. It feels like it should be on the emphasis should be on the second syllable.
I mean, it's a made-up word,
like 90.
So I'm just telling you.
But also
how people pronounce it.
I mean, when was
I mostly learned these from listening to Magic podcasts.
Yeah,
it's the way I know. Because when they introduced those guilds was like a time when, and the shards, and the cons or whatever was the time where I wasn't playing Magic. So it wasn't till the last couple of years where I've gotten back into Magic that I've like consumed enough Magic content to learn all this shit.
So. Whatever. I'll just pronounce it Temir or Temir, but I'll say it in such a way that people realize that I know that it might be incorrect, but I just don't care. Fine. Fine, stupid Temir. Fuck. Anyway, would it be beneficial to play self-milled Temur? Is it possible? And see, this is where I fail.
Like, possible, yeah. I don't know.
I dip into 3 colors so rarely on my own that I just don't know.
It's kind of hard to dip. I don't like dipping to 3 colors now because the mana's kind of bad.
I know people are still doing.
I hate the Scrylands.
Yeah, people are still doing Teamer Fighters though, right? I know that hasn't really died. I don't think.
Yeah,
it's just not great.
That deck's bad.
Yeah,
but people like it. But it's not. It's not like great. I don't know.
Hmm.
Like the decks are blue white and blue green right now, and like Rakdos Knights is also.
I'm gonna
pretty good.
I'm gonna do this.
Because Rakdos Knights at least it gets that extra land. That's a whole just for them.
Yeah.
So their 3 color is easier.
I'm doing.
So the other card that's like really defining Theros is fucking Dream Trawler.
Yeah, the blue white fly boy, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Flying lifelink. Whenever you draw a card, it gets +1. Tax, draw a card.
You can discard a card to give it
hex.
hexproof.
Yeah.
Like the part where it protects itself makes it the perfect control finisher.
Yeah.
And it just gives you all this extra card advantage. It's just insane.
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
Really good. The most fun card, in my opinion, is playing Enigmatic Incarnation with Niv Mizzet.
Hell yeah.
That was the first thing I did. That's just a good time.
I mean, is your Niv Mizzet deck like updated?
I haven't updated it since the meta's settled more.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't worked on it since like the start of the set.
I mean, that's
but
what
like
I look
so
forward to is
you play Enigmatic Incarnation and Fires of Invention
sure
in your Niv Mizzet deck, so that you can sacrifice your Fires of Inventions to your Enigmatic Incarnations to get Niv Mizzets.
Hell yeah.
It's pretty good. It's pretty good. I forget why I stopped.
But have we gotten any new tools to facilitate a Simic Ascendancy win?
No.
Actually, probably yes.
Simic Ascendancy is so fucking hard.
It's funny as
the
fuck,
thing is,
though.
the amount of resources it takes to amass to pull it off, you've probably won the game already if you've done all that.
No, dude, you just do Cetazen Champion. Tessin. Is it Tessin?
Yeah, but if you're
Cetizen.
But if you're like getting that much value out of your Cetizen Champion already, like how you should win. Like you can't win with that.
It's called having a backup plan, dude.
Shouldn't be the thing. Yeah, your backup plan is your one Thassa's Oracle. It's when you've milled yourself and you're out of cards. That's your backup plan.
Hell yeah.
It's much more efficient.
I mean, I'm gonna...
I still can't believe that. I literally was playing that fucking Simic Euro deck, and I just was like milled myself like 5 games in a row where I was like out of a library. I was like, I guess I'm putting Thassa's Oracle in this deck because I'm just fucking going through my whole library and not winning. Game isn't over somehow.
I just like how
particularly in the mirror. The mirror of that is fucking.
Oh yeah.
Like whose Agent of Treachery lines up at the right time to get the win.
The introduction of Thassa's Oracle is... I just love what it did to the EDH community because it just broke, fully broke competitive EDH.
Yeah. Well, because the thing I did, I guess, is it turned the 2 top decks into the same deck.
Yes. Yeah, just combined them. Which
like somehow they've now become one deck.
Yeah.
That seems bad.
And also that like it's it's objective, right? Like there is just the best.
Yeah.
And it's not like it probably won't get better magically with the next standard release. I do it. I think banning Flash is fine.
Yeah.
Like, who's using it that isn't doing something degenerate? And also, to begin with,
No, that's
who's using it?
yeah. Yeah. Like it's not a heavily played card except in those decks.
Yeah, and even
So
someone, I forget like their estimated percentage, and they're like maybe there's a handful of people out there who play casually, and they happen to have this card, or like they're using it for actual just normal value instead of like trying to do something terrible. But
which I can't even imagine. Like it doesn't look that appealing as a thing to play casually even.
yeah. It's like moderate. It's one of those things where like, well, I have this casual deck and I have this card. Like it could help. Toss
Yeah.
it in.
Misuse this tool.
Use
Use
it
the
as
scalpel to fucking open a can of peanuts or something.
use my original print Flash in my Talrin Sky Summoner deck. Get some Drakes.
Hell yeah.
That's terrible.
Drake tribal.
Oh,
No dragons. Only drakes.
there's a difference. Do they have a wyvern? Do
Different
they have a
creature type.
wyvern creature type or no?
I have to look up.
I feel like if
I
they
think-
do, there's like one, or it's like a wyvern drake or something. It's like a dual
I think they're drakes. I think their creature type is drakes.
to describe wyvern. That makes
Yeah,
sense.
there are cards that are named wyvern, and I think they're
Sure.
drakes.
Alright.
Yes. Let me make sure. On older versions, yes. Creature great Drake. The oldest wyverns I can find, they're drakes. In their older printings too.
Okay.
There are like 5 of them. 5 wyverns.
Man. I'm just really excited to build janky red blue self mill.
Nice.
I'm telling when it becomes an S tier deck and it sweeps tournaments, this time you'll be able to say I was there when he made this stupid suggestion.
I mean, I remember when you were saying just play mass manipulation in the Simic Ramp deck, and it's good. And lo and behold, it became the thing.
Yeah, but this time I'll take it all the way to the top. I'll become a pro,
Oh,
and then when we get a new set or something else rotates, I'll just fall from grace.
look.
Probably turn
Get
to
back to me when
alcoholism.
you're willing to play enough to hit Mythic.
So never, probably.
Yeah.
Not true. If that deck works, if it's my own deck, I like playing it more.
Yeah. I mean,
As
I got to Mythic with fucking Niv Mizzet.
yeah,
I understand.
so good.
And like my first time I did it was doing a weird variation on burn. And my other time was Is It Flash, which wasn't like one of the top decks. But it was what I had the most success with. That was probably the closest to an actual thing other people were playing too, though.
I kind of wish they had a better system for jumping back. I don't know what would be better, but like it feels bad that I can get to platinum very easily. Like getting to gold certainly is like the simplest thing in the world, and getting to platinum is like only slightly more difficult. So I
Yeah.
almost wish they had like a placement match set up, because it feels bad watching, like, if I don't play for a while, I just get to watch my thing go down, and now I'm starting at like bronze 3 or whatever. Like, I'm not.
Yeah.
I
The
don't mean to be arrogant, but I know I don't belong here.
I mean, it's good because the constant progression actually actually makes the game fun to play if you're playing it a lot. Like, because that progression is like the only thing makes it worth grinding if you actually just want to play a ton of Magic at any given time, even
Yeah.
if that's every day. Like, that's the incentive. So, I kind of it. I'm with you that I'm kind of, as someone who's kind of burned out. I don't want to have to fucking grind up every month again.
Yeah.
But
That
if
might
you're
also
actually
be it.
in it, it's like the thing that makes that game good. Also,
Yeah. Maybe if it was not every single month, maybe if it was like 3 months or even 2, that would help probably.
yeah.
Like, because if I don't play
I
for a
just
month,
think you don't need as much. I don't know. I wish like there were just a little less degeneration at the lower ranks, but you do get more win points for winning at the lower ranks too.
yeah,
Like you get double. So I don't know. I think it's fine.
it's
Honestly.
yeah, no, it's not. It's not terrible. It just, like, for someone in my situation where I haven't played in ages,
I mean, it just means you get to crush everyone, Ben. If
it's
you're good.
kind of
You just
true.
get to destroy everyone.
Roll out my jank decks to
Like, yeah.
some of the
I don't know.
misplays are just
I just
unreal.
love that you don't go down during the month if you reach a certain place. Then you could just play whatever. Like I just hit gold. I can play whatever jank I want, and it doesn't matter. That's so freeing. It just makes me like that system so much. So I'm loath to criticize it too much. Well, got any other Theros thoughts, or we could call this a podcast? Any magic thoughts?
Um, it's a good thing you specified it was about to get spicy. Um, I guess not. Not particularly.
I think I'm getting close in my heart to maybe wanting to brew an EDH deck again, which I just haven't been in the mood to do for a while.
Yeah, actually, that there is a thought. Like, it makes me kind of sad. I mean, not even kind of. It just makes me sad that I've missed our last EDH things, because it has been a long time, and it's still by far like my favorite thing. Or even even Brawl is. I mean, really, I just want to steamroll you with elves again. Is what it amounts to.
Uh huh. Yeah, I wish they would make historic brawl more of a thing you could actually do. I haven't checked
Yeah.
in on like where historic is either, like just regular historic.
Oh
decks.
yeah, I haven't. I
It's
see
so
stuff.
like
but-
a fake format that nobody talks about. So,
yeah, it's there a little bit, but nothing worth.
yeah.
I feel like the best decks are not the best decks just because nobody's bothering with it.
Yeah.
Or maybe there's probably someone out there who's fucking destroying everybody, but he just hasn't posted anything about it because why would he?
Yeah. Why would he?
I mean, do you have any ideas for EDH like that you've been feeling, like a spicy commander,
I
or a theme?
Kind of. There's that from the last commander set. That like the thing that it wasn't one of the main new commanders. It was one of the like additional ones. But it like allows you to cast all your non-creature stuff with flash. It's like a
Mm-hmm.
I forget the actual wording. I was thinking. Honestly, it was to use Underworld Breach in a commander deck.
Sure.
That's kind of just what I wanted to do. Elsha of the Infinite. That one.
Okay.
I was thinking of maybe brewing with that. Maybe. Because it's another, like, you get to look at the top card of your library kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
So you can, like, so he lets you cast the top card of your library with flash if it's non-creature.
Okay.
So, like, a different version of Lantern Control.
God damn it. There it is.
Because, honestly, my version of Lantern Control that I haven't been thrilled with how that plays.
Yeah.
It's a little too slow. I don't know.
Did you get any new tools for your Joyra deck? Because that's like the other thing. I need to look at if there's anything new I should be doing for my current decks first.
I mean, the big one was Arcane Signet.
Yeah.
And I got the Modern Horizon dual land that you can sack to draw a card. I also put that in there.
Okay.
Picked one of those up. From Theros, though, no. Because there's, like, no artifacts that are interesting. Soul Guided Lantern, though, is a new lantern.
Soul Guided Lantern is what now?
A new lantern?
Oh, yeah,
They
yeah,
did
yeah.
print another lantern, so theoretically...
The ultimate duel.
that has to be in my lantern deck, which is just like, I have to take out another slot of useful cards for this dumb lantern joke I have to do. Okay.
Yeah.
It's like when they would print a new bear card that before Ayula got printed. I'm just like, oh, damn. I have to put this in my deck. Don't necessarily want to. It's actually going to make my deck worse. I will say, Shadow Spear getting printed is fucking dope. That card is cool as hell.
I'm going to level with you. I don't remember what it does.
That's the new equipment that just has an ability on it where you pay 1 mana and permanents your opponent's control lose hexproof and indestructible until end of turn. And also, it's like an equipment that you can equip to give something +1/+1 trample and lifelink. It's just like a weird card. Like, you don't have to have it equipped onto anything to make everything lose indestructible and hexproof. But
yeah, that's wild.
So I also had that in my PGQ, and that it's like just a good thing to have in your pocket to deal with all the fucking bullshit gods.
Yeah.
and like a dream trawler or whatever.
Oh, Nyx Lotus looks pretty nice.
It's
if you're playing mono colored in EDH, well, then I'll say
there are definitely decks built around that already. Actually, I think in Pioneer, like it's pretty good. It's not better than that Devotion Land from Old Theros.
Shrine to Nykthos, or Nykthos Shrine or whatever.
Nykthos
Shrine to Nyx.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's so good.
Yeah.
That was a saucy one.
But yeah, I mean, and Nyx Lotus comes into play tapped, which is like,
yeah,
for if you're playing a high burst combo deck, it doesn't fit in my Joyra deck, so I'm not interested.
Yeah. I didn't even mean for your deck necessarily. Yeah. Your deck is gonna play Bronze Sword, clearly.
No. Nope. No deck is gonna play Bronze Sword.
A sword-based deck would play Bronze Sword. How dare you?
Tribal.
Sword Tribal. What is this? Super Smash Bros? Boom!
Oh,
Fucking got him. We're probably
him.
Probably gonna get hate mail. For that.
Honestly, Dalakos is probably playable. It's a artifact thing.
Who the hell is Dalakos? Oh, Crafter of Wonders.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's got mana ramp. Gives your stuff haste. You know, if you're an equipment based, it's another variation of blue-red artifact commander. If you're building around equipment, so that's neat. I just still think Joyra is easily the best.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Artifact commander.
Oh, that deck is fucking terrifying.
And I'm really not playing a terrifying the true terrifying version of it because I'm not playing stuff like Winter Orb.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm not playing all the actual mean shit. I'm just maximizing it for burst power. I built like the glass cannon version.
I forget. Do you have a Joyra historic deck? Historic Brawl?
Yeah.
Okay. I forgot if you did or not, honestly.
I did. And it still feels like it could use tuning. But it gets there. It definitely can just go off.
Yeah. I guess in my mind,
But when I was playing Joyra in Standard was when I was the happiest. I was playing Aetherflux Reservoir and Joyra.
Hell yeah, dude.
In Standard. That was the best time I had on Arena. Frankly.
Yeah, what was my best time for Arena? I don't know. I was having such a good time when I was visiting Russia over the holidays, and I was really enjoying playing Arena on one of my visits. But the good memories are intertwined with the fact that was the period that Heroes of the Storm died. So I had been like craving to play it, then all that shit started coming out, and like my interest was dying in front of me for no reason. So that was wild.
That game's still good.
Yeah.
It's too bad Blizzard is fucking terrible. I'm so mad about the Warcraft 3 stuff.
Yeah, that's rough.
So upset. I'm so upset.
Yeah.
I still bought that game anyway.
Oh no.
And then probably am not going to return it because I just love that game too much.
Sure.
But they gotta fucking do shit to that thing. That is such a bare bones port, basically.
I just like the fact that
did not do anything that they promised, and they ripped out features from the original games more than they added anything.
Yeah. I just like that the menu
also, like,
is a
honestly,
chrome map.
The thing that screws up. Yeah, the biggest thing is they redid the EULA so that they own anything that's made with their map making tools. So there's that kills the community. Like no one's gonna make shit for that thing.
Yeah, yeah.
But at least they're the old maps.
Mm-hmm.
Get some nostalgia out of, but it's a bad time, bad scene.
Yeah, that's rough. Anyway, that's probably a Magic podcast, I would say.
So I can say, Wizards of the Coast, less terrible than Blizzard.
This is true. For now.
At the moment. Things can always change.
I mean, the Brawl stuff is real fucking
Hasbro
stupid.
is a looming specter.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, 10,000 gold to play Brawl, man.
Nope. I'm good.
Just awful. Just terrible.
It's just like, or I could not do that.
Yeah.
All right. Any last Magic thoughts? Are we out? We done?
In case anybody was curious, the new Theros lands are, in fact, my new favorite lands, I think.
Wow, just jumping on that bandwagon.
Don't, how fucking dare you? Jumping
I
on
think
that bandwagon.
unglued lands.
Unglued are pretty
Or-
good. I think those are the most unique.
Yeah. I like unhinged a lot too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
But honestly,
Unhinged.
I just like a lot of the older lands. Like
Older lands are really
there's
good.
a Saga,
They're
Tempest
really
era.
good.
Because I also just have the most nostalgia for that era.
Yeah. Well, that's like, I don't know. A lot of those older lands, like back when, even the older art, just when Magic was fucking wild.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
it was so good. And now
Also,
it's,
if I have like any of like like if I'm building a deck, what I'm using like I have a bunch of like unlimited forests. That's like the art from beta, but it's white border. I'm still just gonna use those probably.
yeah. Yeah.
Like just because they're older. There's something cool about them.
Mm-hmm.
I bought an old white bordered lightning bolt at the
Nice.
con just to have it. Like I did not need a lightning bolt, but this lightning bolt is old and white border, dude. It's better.
Ugh. Disgusting. Disgusting, filthy white borders.
I don't know. I picked up one of the commanders for like $1.
Which
The
commander?
morph one, Kadena.
Oh, okay.
It's like a little
A
warped 'cause
funky,
it's a foil.
a funky cold Kadena.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, that's podcast.
Yeah, it is.
You can email us saltcirclepodcast@gmail.com. Oh, I think we do have an email now that I mention it. From Zeiss. Antonio. I say Antonio because he signed it Antonio in his emails. Here we go. It's even topical. With the recent release of Theros Beyond Death, I must ask, on a 1 to 10, how satisfied did this set leave you for the tools it brings to standard / commander / etc.? Question mark. How many? And then he has a couple other questions, but first that one. Ben, 1 to 10, Theros.
1
Where
to
are you?
10, Theros Beyond Death. No, that's tricky just because I haven't been playing. I mean, I would still put it at like a 7 or 8 out of 10. I'm satisfied. It's not necessarily things I wanted, but I'm satisfied with what it brought. Like there are things in the set from every angle that I enjoy and I am excited about. So, yeah, it's up there. It's certainly up there for excitement for me or for satisfaction.
Yeah, I think I'm at a 6 for what the sin is. Like I think earlier I might have given it a 7, but some things haven't had the staying power that I might have thought. And I mean, it doesn't have that many artifacts, so like my enthusiasm's going to be lower no matter what. So.
Sure. You're waiting for that return to Phyrexia.
It didn't quite have enough like multicolor good cards to play in Niv Mizzet other than Enigmatic Invocation. Like if it just had a couple more things to make, because I'm still like chasing that deck. Just used to be better because it had more. Like every card was good. It had a kind of power to it when I actually hit Mythic with it. And, it just still doesn't have that. Also, is the next question: how many decks do you currently own?
In person?
Yeah.
0. I have no magic cards anymore.
So I have 3 commander decks, and then 3 pauper decks, and a modern deck, but those are those aren't fully updated because I built them like a year ago. So they would all
Sure.
need work.
Yeah.
And like the modern deck is very budget. And like the card I need Light Up the Stage. I still haven't gotten any of, and that card deck just needs that card. And then I have tons of Magic cards that aren't in decks. Because, like,
Yeah.
part of the reason I built those decks a year ago because I was just sort of infuriated. Like, I have all these cards, and I really don't have a deck for actual formats. I have decks like my casual decks that I would play with my friends that are just nonsense and not of any format.
Yeah.
They are kitchen table decks. I got plenty of those.
Hell yeah, dude.
And I mean, I've bought a lot of sealed product, but most of it's I've broken it up. Like his last question actually is, do you have any sealed product? Which you don't have any Magic cards, so there's no.
Yeah, no.
My coolest sealed product I have is one of the World Championship decks, the ones that have the weird different backs and are gold bordered. I bought one of those. It's like a red. It says like Grim Monoliths and then Wildfires. So you're like ramping in like City of Traders.
Okay.
So you're like ramping into Wildfires and just wrecking everyone.
Sure.
Playing Manticores.
Is it still sealed, or is it just you bought it and it's open?
Yeah. No, I've opened it.
Okay.
It's like
just
looked
checking.
through it. Yeah, no, I don't have anything that I didn't open. I'm not into buying things and not opening them. I'll say.
Yeah.
It's just not a thing I do. Like, even if I'm gonna keep it and not, even if I were gonna keep it like as is for whatever reason, like I bought one of the Brawl decks and I haven't taken the cards out and put them in anything else yet, but I probably will at some point because I partially that's why I bought it, to get the couple cards I wanted. Like,
Yeah.
fucking, what's the white enchantment that gives you treasure?
Smothering Tide.
Smothering Tide. That was a deal sealer for the buying that deck, was getting a Smothering Tide,
So good.
because that's just a commander staple from now on.
Yeah.
It's so good.
Yeah. I've been tempted
Also,
to get
last
sealed
question.
commander decks just
sealed
to play.
commander decks, yeah.
But okay, yeah. Last question.
Last question: will Ben ever stream some sealed Theros with eye emojis?
I don't think I can anymore. Do they still have sealed in arena? Is that still an option?
I don't think so. I think because they only do sealed for
Yeah.
a while after the set releases. I think they've pulled sealed at this point.
It might be too late.
So the answer was no.
I might just never do sealed again because my old rain sealed was so fucking ridiculously good. It was crazy.
Yeah.
I went like I got
That is the problem with sealed. It's like you get a good pool and you feel so good, and then if you ever try and do it again and you get a bad pool, it feels so fucking bad.
It like
just
happened.
the swings with that format, and
Yeah.
it's like so out of your control.
I mean, I think the first one, I ran like knights or something, and I went like 7-0. And so I did the second one right away, and I also got enough, like I got far enough to get a third one, and the third one just crashed and burned. It was terrible.
Yeah.
But 2 out of 3, like probably never gonna happen ever again. If my excitement for Theros was at a 10, I would have. They ruined constellations. Yeah. No, so. Little late.
Magic is ruined. You heard it here first from Ben.
Yeah, Magic is dead.
They didn't print another Oko, so
That's true.
they got that going.
Hopefully nothing.
Imagine how fucking, like, there's nothing in the set that would have stopped Oko either.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
all these fucking gods, they're just elk.
I guess. How even. Yeah, they're just elk. I mean, no, that wouldn't work.
Like, you want to play a Thassa? Okay.
you have to like just hope for Dream Trawler, I guess. But that's way too late
Yeah.
to do anything. Like it's way too late.
My favorite Oko thing though was it getting banned in Modern because like Burn was splashing to play it.
Burn was splashing
blue
for Oko?
and green and for
Unreal.
Oko specifically.
That's
Modern.
so good. I didn't know it was. I didn't know.
So
it was
like
to that point.
at some way you'd think getting rid of Oko, that like all that life gain that's like incidentally in these decks, getting rid of that would be good for Burn. But Burn was playing Oko, so then Burn gets worse too.
Unreal.
This card is stupid.
It's so bad. I mean, it's great, obviously, but it's just fucking dumb.
Well, what's terrible, it's just hilarious. It's like, you guys are out here like, Wizards, you want, like, pushing for Planeswalkers as commanders. But then you print a fucking Planeswalker. You could never make that a commander. That's auto-banned if they make Planeswalkers into commanders. Because it just shuts off every creature commander in the format. It's the same reason I had to get banned in Brawl. It's just like, oh, you can't actually play creatures because they don't do anything.
Yeah, and the fact that he's 3 mana, so
elk.
you get him out turn 2.
Yeah. Terrible. Bad job.
1 Oko as the commander. Roughly, like 30, between, what's the count? 30, 35 lands? Somewhere in there. And maybe even less. Maybe, like, you probably run less. And then just ramp creatures. Just ramp everything. Just get Oko out. That's all you need.
1 mana ramp spells. Alright. Find us on Stitcher, Google Podcast, Spotify, iTunes, Salt Circle Podcast. We're on Twitter at Salt Circle Pod. You can find me on Twitter at Comic Panels.
I'm on Twitter at bean_LP.
And we did it, Ben. We got Beyond Death.
Oh,
No more of that.
thank
Past it.
God. Getting tiresome.